Hey, good morning, traders. How we doing? I just made a post on my web on the YouTube channel about the steps that we go through to find a successful trade. Starts with the impulse. We build the shelf. We have a wash. We retest the high, and then we enter on the retest of the shelf. Very basic, very simple. Something that anybody can do anywhere they go. Any trade, any time frame, and it's something we teach here on a daily basis. You can get your morning updates. If you're getting this on YouTube, you're getting it stale. If you're on Patreon, you're getting it before the market opens. So you can see how this one worked out, right? We just followed the impulse up. We mark out our kill zone in our or a pressure cooker in our kill zone, and we watch the shelf being built as price starts to pull back. It cleans out these guys here, right? All these guys are buyers. All these guys are buyers. All these guys are buyers. It runs into the sellers. That's what we call it, the pressure cooker, right? There's pressure here. These guys are selling. The pressure pushes it back down. And this guy somehow in this kill zone, this guy buys them up and it goes through and it comes down and gives us a beautiful, beautiful entry right there. Set your appropriate risk reward below the wash, and off goes the next impulse leg. And that is a 3-to-1 risk reward. Now, I'm a 30 to 40% profitable win rate trader. So I shoot for 3-to-1 trades as often as I can. The other day I got a 5-to-1. The other day I took a 2-to-1. So there's times that it's, you have to understand yourself. You have to understand the market, where you're at in the day. Is it the market about to close? Is the market in the middle of the day, so you have some time? Do you have to go somewhere? Do you like to leave your trades and let your stop sit? All those things come into play as a new trader. There's so many things you don't know. And our goal here is to just kind of hold your hand and get you through some of the things that a lot of the noise creates. So you can see on this one here, price comes up as an impulse and makes the shelf, and it's just bouncing on the shelf, and then it washes down. And notice the wash, the big U shape here, right? Look how big that is. It just cleaned them out, pulls back up, and runs back into them here. This is called the pressure cooker. The pressure cooker has the pressure of the sellers pushing the price back down, and then the buyers are pushing it back up. This is our kill zone that price landed in. And so when we go to set our orders here, I'm pretty comfortable back here. I'm pretty comfortable because price isn't going to really pull back into the swing. Well, sometimes it does. I'm not saying everything, everything's possible in this business. And so this one here, let's say you got in here and this is after hours trading, so it doesn't apply to us. But if you got in here and you this is where you got in, and you said, well, geez, Mike, I've got the impulse leg. I mean, you don't have to do anything. You have to spend hours in front of a chart. You don't have to do anything other than just kind of say, okay, there's the impulse leg. What's the impulse leg? The impulse leg is the leg that took out the last swing, right? It's impulsing up into the stratosphere, and then it lands back down. You can see a shelf over here. Boom, boom. See these little guys just land here? These are buyers. These are buyers. These are buyers. And then it runs into sellers. These guys here. So there's pressure being built. It's a coil, like a snake. And then it takes out the high, and then it starts to pull back. Now, the problem with this, and maybe somebody would say, well, geez, Mike, I see a pressure cooker. I see a wash inside of it. I've seen you do that before. You have. Take the trade, right? Make your stop go down here, right? Get underneath something over here. Get underneath something. Because if you got in here with a stop underneath this guy right here, you just got smoked. This guy's boop, done. And then it tried again, boop, done. If you're really quick on your tighten your stop up, boop, you're done. So let it play out, let it breathe, because this one actually works, right? You can see it hit this guy, right? Before it did another wash. So, I mean, this is what investigating does. This is what playing with clay does. I wouldn't even see this thing until I started talking about it. I was looking at this bigger one here, this big one. We were talking about it, and it didn't retest. But there was a trade inside here, right? And what did it do? It hit step 3. Step 1, impulse. Step 2, or step 4, I should say. Step 1 is impulse. Step 2, shelf. Step 3, wash. Step 4, retest the high or take out the high, and then boom, right there. You can do this, people. This isn't beyond anything that you can't do. This is just reading a chart, reading price, reading what is going on. And right now, the market's really good flow. The election turned all these people on, and all this flow is going really good. Now you can say, well, geez, Mike, you could have went, and this is a 5-to-1 trade I took the other day. You could have went all the way up here. Yeah, but I don't know that. I don't know. I know as much as you do. I know that the market's going up. Okay, and that's about it. I'm not, I'm here to make money on a regular, consistent basis. I'm not here to get rich overnight. I'm not here to get poor overnight. I manage myself. I manage my trades, and I live in my world of I want a piece of this, and then I want to get out. That's it. I don't sit here and because I've done all that. I sat here and I've watched the market for hours. I've overnight traded. I've added to positions. I've made so much money in such a short amount of time, and I've lost equally as much because I just didn't have a plan. I didn't have a clue. If you're brand new at this, do the same thing I'm doing. Get a YouTube channel and start making videos and start watching yourself. Because once I started really getting into this, this just clear as a bell for me. I can see this anywhere. I'm always going to hit this trade. I would now take this trade, knowing what I know about it, but I got to hide behind somebody. There's a lot of lessons in here, guys. So going to back to our what's going on. Let's just start over, right? Take a look at it. I think I've got the hourly here. Remember, we checked the hourly just to kind of gauge, where are we going, what's going on. That was the 5th, I think. Number 5th, right here, yeah. And then the market just took off. Everyone's like, oh, Trump, market's going great. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It could have been Biden. It could have been anybody. The people want the market to go up. Everybody in this business wants it to go up. And what happens is you get the pullback, and the people that are going up sell their positions, and then they start buying them up again. It happens over and over and over and over again. What you need to do is manage yourself so that you can live in a world where you can take small little 3-to-1 trades and not let it and be like, oh yeah, because once you get into this stuff, it's just a job. It's a fun job because I got to work at home. It's a fun job because I got to be creative. I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about that. I'm blown away. I didn't even see that trade in here until we were talking about it. I mean, that's how it hits you. That's how hard this, Like I just drew it up. There's the impulse leg. Okay, what's step 2? Here's the shelf, right? Here's the wash. I was sitting here drawing this whole thing up. I'm like, oh, there's the wash, but there's no retest on the backside. And as I talk to you guys, I'm like, well, wait a second. What happened here? Right? I have step 1, step 2. I have a wash inside of it. And I know that the wash inside of it works because I bought, what did I buy? I bought this guy here, right? Didn't we do this one? Yeah, I bought this one here, off of this one here the other day. Big bark, boom, inside. So it shows up in different spots. Shows up in different spots. I don't have all the answers, people. All I do is reprice and try and follow and learn. Every day, learn something new. What did I learn today? That by reading this chart, this price just showed up, or this wash showed up inside of it. Because look at that hard down, look at that hard up. And then a retest of the high. Hits the pressure cooker, pops the pressure cooker. And look at this back here. It retests the pressure cooker. Now, I know this happens. I know this happens. And it's not something that I really teach, but I can sit here and say, there's your impulse leg. And it looks like I've got, and I look at this here, right? And I say, okay, I've got a retest of the shelf. And I say, well, where did this, where did this drop from? Boom. There it is right there. I mean, you guys we're having so much fun with this. This is great. You can do this. You don't need to have, and get rid of all the colors, get rid of all the blues or the whatever, the greens and the arrows and the chart candles, all that stuff. You can, I can do it too. I can pull in here and say, give me candlesticks. Okay. It's the same thing. If you want to see colors, then see colors. I don't care. I've been doing this so long in black and white that it just is easier for me to see it this way. It pops out a little differently. But that's it, man. And then, take your stop right there, put it there, boom. And now you just have to wait for this to, that's a big stop. That's a big stop. One of the things that I do is, as price climbs up out of here, I'll cut it in half. I'll cut my risk down. I mean, I keep my target the same because that's my original risk, but I cut it down. I'll come back down in here and say, okay, let's, if it comes back down in here, maybe it's a double wash. That happens too. Anything can happen, man. You're here to preserve your capital, grow your account, and have good, solid trades. Because you can ride a wave forever, but you don't know when it starts, when it stops, and all that stuff. So go have fun. If you guys made it to the end of the video, throw a like on this thing because I want to see if anybody's listening because I don't think you are. All right. Talk later.